And somebody gave Ozzy this old 16th century book of black magic, and it was all written in, I think it was Latin. And he brought it round to my flat because he knew that I was interested in books and magic and all that kind of thing. And I just got this really weird vibe off it. And I put it in this cupboard in the apartment that I was living in. And that night I just like woke up suddenly and there was just like this black shape at the bottom of my bed. And it just vanished into thin air as I was staring at it. And I just had the thought, it's got to have something to do with this book that Ozzy brought round for me, and I like leapt out of bed, rushed to the cupboard to throw this book out, and the book was gone. And the next day I told Ozzy about it, and about 3 days after that we came up with our first song, Black Sabbath, and Ozzy just like related my experience in the lyrics.
Big black shape with eyes of fire, telling people their desire. Satan sitting there, he's smiling. Watches those flames get higher and higher. Oh no, please God help me.
We've always, within the band, said there is a fifth member, a mystical member, yeah. We've always said there's something looking over us.
And the only way that I can describe that, probably in its best, the best way for me is that when we were playing our first songs together, and especially our first the first 3 albums, for instance, we would literally show up in a room, and it was almost as if the songs were already written. That's why I like to call Black Sabbath a phenomenon, rather than a band. Although it is a rock and roll band, there's a phenomena involved there where that stuff just comes from somewhere, and it just so happened that we happened to be the ones that it came to.
Kurt Cobain, who was the front man of Nirvana before committing suicide, was Rolling Stone's Artist for the Decade in the 1990s. Kurt Cobain desecrated churches by scrawling graffiti like "God is gay" on the walls. Just before Cobain made it big, he admitted his aspirations in declaring, quote, "I will get stoned and worship Satan." Brian Warner, who became Marilyn Manson, described himself as a weakling, a worm who craved acceptance by his peers. How would he get those who bullied him to eventually worship him? Manson stated, quote, "As a teenager, I was very interested in selling my soul." Manson witnessed a friend's brother take a knife to his body and gather blood from the self-inflicted wounds. He then witnessed him use this same blood as an offering to Satan for power. Manson recognized that he could invoke Satan's power and enjoy the fame that he so craved among his peers. Manson stated, quote, "I could use black magic to turn the lowly lot life had given me around, to attain a position of power that other people would envy and accomplish things that other people couldn't." Sadly, after Manson spends his first minute in the torments of the fires of hell, he will realize that he made a terrible mistake and that it will be too late to repent. Eazy-E, along with Dr. Dre, who is considered one of the godfathers of rap music, also sang about his Satanism before he died of AIDS. Here we see Eazy-E singing about Satan offering him power if he would worship him, and about how he asked Satan to get behind him and push him along.
Get thee behind me, Satan, and push me along.
All this power I will give thee, and thou therefore wilt worship me. All shall be thine.
In the Church of Satan, Satanists pray to Satan by praying the Our Father backwards. Satanists do this both to blaspheme Christ and as an incantation to Satan himself for power.
Temptation into not us lead, and us against trespass. Who those forgave we, as trespassers us our forgive. And bread daily our day this us give. Heaven in is it, as earth undone be will thy come kingdom. Thy name, thy be hallowed, heaven in art, who Father our.
Eazy-E, who sang about having the 666 and hearing voices in his head telling him to do drive-bys, also, like the Church of Satan, praise the Our Father who art in heaven backwards.
Backwards. Heaven and art, which Father our Father which art in heaven. Heaven and art, which Father our Father which art in heaven.
DMX, another of rap's biggest artist ever, also sings about selling his soul to Satan.
Since I run with the devil, I'm one with the devil. And since I run with the devil, I'm one with the devil. I sold my soul to the devil, and the price was cheap. I sold my soul to the devil, and the price was cheap.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. This it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
You know, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. You know, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
How it came about being a lyricist is weird, because I started out technically, like I used to write all the time, you know, before I started going into the Rain Man thing, you know.
Rain Man is back, so little Miss Sunshine.
If I do come back, you know my new name will be?
So, what's your new name gonna be now?
Rain Man.
Oh, put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. New York. Say Rain Man. Say Rain Man. Say Rain Man.
You find me offensive, I find you offensive for finding me offensive. My aim was not to become what I became with this level of fame. My soul is possessed by this devil. My new name is...
One of these in the back of the team truck. I just ran out of money. I need to borrow 50,000.
Stack chips with a rainy day. Jay, Rain Man is back.
Competition faggot, there ain't none. Speak of the devil, it's attack of the Rain Man. Chainsaw in hand, blood stain on my apron.
This right here we call a magic moment. Right now I'm thinking like, you know, where is this going? What does this track say? You know, I look at music like a puzzle, like I try to figure it out. You know, figure out what I'm gonna say on it, figure out the emotion on the track, what it's saying. Then I go through my Rain Man.